Hello and welcome to the channel. Here we talk about my experiences during lockup for educational use. I do not condone or glorify the behaviors in my stories. I spent 2 years in lockup at CFCF, and now that I'm out, I want to tell y'all about it. In this episode, we're going to talk about my third fight in jail, okay? And honestly, um, I'm just gonna say this from the start. I got set up. All right, this whole thing was plotted on and planned on. All right. Now, a little bit of the backstory of why I essentially got in my third jail fight. Okay. Um, long story short, I was on the pod for around the longest period of time, okay? I was in one cell for about a year and some change. Somebody came in my cell that I absolutely could not live with, okay? And instead of me just obliterating him in the cell, I decided to be the better person, the bigger person, and just leave, all right? Now, mind you, that ended up being a bad idea. And this video answers why it was a bad idea, okay? Now, going back to why I left my cell, I made a video on that specific cell earlier on in my channel, all right? And I will leave a link in this video, okay? But now let's get into why I got into my third jail fight, finally. Now, essentially, the dude that I got into my third fight with was apparently arrested for scraping a transsexual. Okay, he got on a specific website, according to him, looking for a woman. All right, he found a transsexual on that website. Okay, and he met up with said transsexual. Okay, by his words, once he found out that it was a transsexual, he got upset and left. All right, and apparently the transsexual called the cops on him. All right, now everything he said was a load of crap. Okay, I personally believe that he literally met that transsexual and purposely did something to that person. Okay, I don't think he was set up, because literally while he was in jail, he was an undercover colorful person. Okay, and y'all know the type that I'm talking about, the type that tries so hard to prove they aren't what they are. All right, now mind you, I wouldn't have thought this person was a colorful person. And honestly, I wouldn't have cared because it's none of my business, right? But he kind of forced it to be my business, all right? Y'all see what I'm saying? Anyway, so I move out of my cell and I move into this multi cell. Okay, now the multi cells, for real, it's not even a cell. It's actually a mop closet that they put two bunk beds in and a toilet. Pretty much, that's what the multi cell is. Anyway, and this is the first time that I was in a multi cell. Mind you, I was only in this cell for maybe 2 or 3 days, all right? And during those 3 days, um pretty much as soon as I got to the cell, they were always like joking on me, joking on me, joking on me. And I'm well and all cool with that, right? Because I can laugh at myself, right? But there was a point where I realized, oh, they're not just playing with me, or at least not there, not just playing with me. This guy is not just playing with me. You get what I'm saying? Because everybody else I could joke with, but this guy I could not. I couldn't even like joke around with, because he was just one of them type of hostile type people. You get what I'm saying? on the day of the fight, I was talking to my old cellies, new celly, and I'm not gonna lie, we were kind of talking trash about my old celly because he smelled so bad, right? I invited one of my new cellies that is inside of the multi room into the conversation with us so we could joke and laugh, right? That dude apparently went to the CO and they like plotted something to get me out of the cell. All right, this was a setup. So when our recreation period was over for that day, I go to my cell and the CO is about to lock me in, and the CO says, "I think that it's kind of crazy that these people let you live inside of their cell with them, right? And then you try to backdoor them by getting your stinky old celly to switch places with you and move in this cell and you go back to your old cell." Y'all get what I'm trying to say? All right. Now, I'm not a slimy, backdoor, disrespectful type person, okay? This is a blatant lie, a blatant setup to essentially, get me out of the cell because they weren't apparently vibing with me. All right, I was too much of a joke to them, pretty much. All right, and I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to leave too, but I wouldn't try to do no weird, setup type shit for no entertainment for them. You get what I'm saying? But anyway, long story short, the CO said that wild stuff, and then she slammed the door, essentially locking me in with them. Now, since they all three of them heard the CO say that, they're like, "Yo, bro, what's going on? What you mean? Why she saying all that? Yada yada yada." Right? Y'all see the setup, okay? So I'm trying to tell them like, "Nah, y'all know me for real, for real. I'm not like that. As long as y'all know me, I've never been on no backdoor type time. I've never been disrespectful. Like, no. All right." Meanwhile, as I'm saying that, the dude, the scrapist guy, who I'm telling the story about, he gets mad and he throws his breakfast oatmeal tray at me. Right, hits me square in the face. I ain't gonna lie. You feel me? So I get up now and I'm super pissed. I'm like, "Yo, why the F would you do that?" Yada yada yada. And I'm trying my best to keep it like censored for YouTube and stuff, but kind of thinking about this kind of, gets to me sometimes. But anyway, I'm like, "Yo, like, why would you do that?" You know what I mean? And long story short, he's getting more agitated. And mind you, the whole time I'm locked in with three dudes who now think that I tried to set them up, apparently. So I'm trying to not get jumped at this point by three dudes in a closet, pretty much. Y'all see what I'm saying? So he throws that oatmeal at me and I flip. Normally that would be something to make me fly off the handle, but I'm trying to chill out to be smart. Mind you, right? He gets the bright idea to try to rob me, right? And so I'm like, "Nah, bro, you not going to want to take my stuff." The first time I try to step between him and my stuff, he kind of tries to pick me up and throw me out of the way. Mind you, right? He's a younger dude. I'd say at least 6 foot and at least 210. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, I'm 5'11" and I was like 170. Okay. Anyway, he picks me up and throws me out the way. Right. I land on my feet and all of that. Right. I make a move toward my stuff again. Right. And he kind of tries to do it again. Right. I try to get between him one last time. Right. And he tries telling me move. And I tell him no. Right. He pretty much tried to move past me, and I'm not gonna lie, I sneak him. You feel me? I sneak him as hard as I can. Now, the other two people are watching this. They're kind of trying to stay out the way, but also instigate because, like I said, this was a setup. You feel what I'm saying? So they're like, yo, he just snuck you. I mean, you just snuck him. He was just up in your face and you didn't do nothing. And I ain't gonna lie, yeah, I was trying to catch him off guard. I ain't gonna lie. That's the whole purpose of a sneak attack, right? But, um, yeah, they were saying y'all might as well just box, right? Well, not box. Y'all might as well just rumble. Y'all see what I'm saying? So I said, all right, fine, bet. I'm with it, right? I threw up my hands, right? The other dude threw up his hands, right? So since he's bigger than me and he has that advantage, I figured I'm just going to rush him. So I rush him and I hit him with a combo. If y'all ever heard one of my stories before, y'all know, like, I will literally rush in and hit combo, 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 right? Some wombo combos, for real, for real. I started doing my thing, and the other two people that were there, I start hearing them say like, "Dang, dang, dang," you know what I'm saying? Now, when I'm hitting the guy, right? He covers up. Once he covers up, well, after a little bit of him covering up, right? And I realize, oh shit, like these punches aren't like getting through his guard right now, right? I relax a little bit. And once I relaxed a little bit, you feel me? He saw that and capitalized on that, right? This whole fight, he got maybe 3 good punches on me. And this first punch that he got on me was a good one. I ain't gonna lie. So he saw that I let up on my offense, right? From his guard, and then he hit me with a hook, all right in my ear. And I ain't gonna lie, it swelled up my ear real good. All right. So when I got hit with that punch, I figured I was just gonna spin with it. You feel me? The other two people who saw this fight, they think that, oh, his punch like spun me around, but like, no, I hit him and then I purposely like use that momentum to punch him back. You get what I'm saying? It just didn't look like it. Anyway, so me and him are fighting. And honestly, I'm getting more hits in. You see what I'm saying? I'm getting a lot more hits in. But like I said, he probably got like 2 or 3 good hits. Okay? Anyway, after a little bit, one of the cellies ends up coming up to me and says like, "Oh, you got one more time to hit him before I jump in it, right?" And so, like I told y'all before, I'm not trying to get jumped inside of a mop closet. So I'm like, all right? But I'm just saying all right, when in reality, I'm still gonna make an attempt to fight back, obviously, right? So me and him square up again, right? But this time, I'm thinking I'm gonna try to duck and weave some of his punches, right? So literally, he threw one punch, and I got punched in the face because I'm trying to duck it, right? He threw a second punch, I weave it, right? Once I weave it, he gets mad, right? I back up a little bit so I don't get like, rushed. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean, right? So I back up a little bit towards the cell door, right? And in the front of the cell door, there was some bunk beds, all right? Solid metal bunk beds, okay? He tried throwing a third punch. I dip the third punch, and he hits the metal bed frame of, that cell, right? And he immediately starts acting like a little boy, right? Holding his hand and screaming, "Oh, my hand, right? Mind you, I still got my hands up, and I asked him, like, yo, you still trying to continue, right? But he is pretty clearly out of the fight. So, because I am an actually caring person, and even though me and this dude just got in a fight, I wasn't thinking of his charges at the moment. I was just thinking, dang, like, he just hurt his hand. I'm gonna try to go help him, right? So I literally went and I was like, yo, bro, like, you good, right? You know, like, I didn't say none of that stuff. I wasn't trying to get switched out or none of that. But you just wanted to do stuff, right? Now, anyway, long story short, uh, I ended up having to leave that cell, okay? And yeah, it was a very embarrassing situation because although two people saw me pretty much darn near win the fight, when I left the cell, everybody else saw a dude with glasses with a blown up ear. You get what I'm saying? Because he got that one good punch on my ear. You get what I mean? Long story short, after the fight, um, there was still a bunch of tension between me and the people of that multi, right? But for the sake of peace, I had to swallow my anger, you know, and and just deal with it, you know. Eventually, the entire pod ended up having to move to a different pod, okay? And that scrapist guy ended up staying on the pod we were already on, okay? And mind you, that is not the last I see of him, okay? Um, he makes another appearance during my jail time, okay? And I'll get into that later. But for now, um, thank you for watching the video. And if you enjoyed, please give me a like and subscribe. Have a great rest of your day.